If you are traveling outside of the United States, it is now mandatory for most countries that travelers provide negative COVID-19 health certificate results. Airline passengers 2 years and older must provide a negative COVID-19 viral test taken within 3 calendar days of travel. The test should indicate the words negative, SARS-CoV-2 RNA not detected, SARS-CoV-2 antigen not detected, and or COVID-19 not detected. Double check ahead of time what kind of travel documentation you need to provide when you enter your country of destination. Whether it's a PCR test or an antigen test. What is the difference between a PCR test and an antigen test? Antigen test, frequently referred to as rapid tests, is a process that detects protein fragments specific to the coronavirus. It can be done in a clinic, doctor's office, or hospital. Turnaround time for results is usually very quick, and in some cases, results can be reported within 15 minutes. While the PCR test is considered the gold standard in SARS-CoV-2 detection, this test actually detects RNA, or genetic material, that is specific to the virus and can detect the virus within days of infection, even those who have no symptoms. The test can be done in a clinic, hospital, or even in your car. Will you be needing a PCR test for your upcoming travel? Then you need to check out this video to know more about COVID-19 health travel certificates and some practical advice for a smooth journey to your country of destination. But first, what is a PCR test? PCR test stands for Polymerase Chain Reaction Test. It's a diagnostic test to seek and detect the presence of genetic materials expressed by a COVID-19 virus. It is done by collecting a sample from nasal or saliva using a swab. This is the most accurate and reliable test to diagnose COVID-19 presence in your body at the time of the test. A positive test means you likely have a COVID-19, while a negative result means that you did not get infected at the time of the test. How is it done? It is done with a nasal swab to collect respiratory materials in the nose. Then this material undergoes a process in the PCR machines called thermal cycles, which determines your test result. Then a lab software is used to analyze and determine if you tested positive or negative for the COVID-19 virus. How soon will the result of a COVID-19 PCR test be available? You should get the results of a COVID-19 PCR test as early as 24 hours after sample collection. But sometimes it can take a few days depending on how long it takes before the samples reach the laboratory and how many other samples are in the queue to be tested. Who needs to be tested by PCR test? Get tested if you show symptoms of COVID-19. Get a PCR test if you have been within 6 meters with someone for more than 15 minutes or more with someone who tested positive for COVID-19. If you're a returning citizen or resident to a country that requires a PCR test. If you are traveling to a country that requires a PCR test. Do I need a PCR test if I am traveling from a U.S. state to U.S. territory or vice versa? Or taking a connecting flight through a foreign country? According to the CDC website, you do not need to get tested. However, if you are traveling to another country and need to get negative health travel certificates, please contact our clinic to book an appointment. Our links are on the description below.